Don't wanna stop.
لحظات البداية عاشت معنا. كنا نحسبها وقت للتسلية بس، نحسبها بس ذكريات.
عبود أعطي أختك اليد يا ولد.
ابتكرنا فيها ابتكارات، وإذا بغينا قلبناها خرافات. كنا نحسبها بس لمة وصحبة وسهرات،
انتبه نوب ترى نوب.
لكن كنا نشوف عالم ما حد يشوفه.
ليت يشغل وقته بشيء يفيده.
الله عليك على اليد صدق.
عالم كبر وعاش فينا، عالم الحماس فيه يوصلك كل مرة لحلم أصعب، بس ما يصعب عليك. بارد معك وين ما تروح.
Salam alaikum from the beautiful city of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, the host country for MSC 2024 at the Esports World Cup.
Yesterday, we saw the best 16 teams in MLBB taking their first step to see the world.
And today we'll witness the contenders of Group A as they head on to what's the conclusion's going to be.
With 4 best-of-2s coming our way, we'll see if EVOS Glory, RRQ Akira, and Fireflux Esports can turn things around.
I'm Mara Aquino.
And I'm Dawood Sandstorm.
Here to continue the journey to
See the world.
Welcome to Riyadh, the host city of MS.
Geçen sene MSC'ye eksik olarak katılmıştık. Burada tam kadro ve koçlarımız da tam kadro olduğu için çok iyi şeyler yapmak istiyoruz bu sene.
Nandito kami para patunayan at bawiin ang nararapat sa amin.
Kami tak pernah merasa kekalahan lagi. Masa untuk kami buktikan di pentas dunia gergasi merah yang sebenar.
Wala man kami dito nakaraang taon pero ngayon nandito na kami para iuwi ang tropeyo ng MSC.
Enggak. Itu nggak mungkin.
day, everyone, and welcome to the beautiful city of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. My name is Afel. Join with me is, of course, Wolf and Trex, where today we'll be covering Group A. We got 4 best of 2. What do you guys feel about today?
Well, Group B, I mean Group A, we're going to be wrapping up Group A today. Yep. We get to see some deciders. It seems like it's been one of the most up and down groups so far, and I think anything could happen.
Yeah, I love it and hate it at the same time, knowing that it's just day 2, but we're probably going to be knowing which teams will not make it to the playoffs. Just kind of crazy, think about it. But then, of course, I'm excited to see who will make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's only day 2, and we're going to be seeing teams celebrating, and some teams, unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit sad. But we got to talk about what happened yesterday, man, because a lot of things happened. Like, for Stream A, we got 3 sweeps.
That's right.
And the last game of the day, RRQ Akira going up against Evil's Glory, it was a 1-1. You saw the games?
The games, yes, I saw all of the games. Stream A and B, I saw them all.
You know what? Here's the thing.
What a guy.
For us to really refresh our memories, let's actually check out the Day 1 recap.
Got the heart of a hero, spirit of a champion, brave and invincible.
Honestly, yesterday, even though it was sweeps, it was not close at all. Like, one of the games that really surprised me was Falcon Mlbb Brand going up against XYG, where even though it was a sweep, XYG almost had game number 2. What about you, Wolf?
Yeah, I think before the tournament started, when I saw the schedule that we will be covering, actually, I thought it would be full sweeps, full-on sweeps, except the last series. Didn't go as expected because it went close. I mean, I did expect a 2-0 between like Fnatic Onyx, like Team Liquid, as well as Falcon's AP Brand. Yeah. However, the games were really close, and that's really what excited me about MSC.
So, Trex, I know you've watched a lot of Stream B as well.
All of Stream B.
Anything to update on Stream B?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know, Cloud9 didn't do so great. We all saw that. They did come close.
They got close.
We saw SRG and Myanmar also, right?
Yeah, 1-1 against
1-1, close matches.
Yeah.
You know, I think all over there was some upsets throughout the day on Stream A and Stream B. I think I'm excited to see how Group A finishes today, honestly. That's where I'm really at.
I mean, like, if we're going to talk about measurements of how amazing Group Day was, we had 1 million, over 1 million PCU on day number 1. Today, I hope we reach it again, and maybe even much more. Now, the thing is, yesterday, a lot of crazy plays happened. We got a lot of reactions coming in from the players, from the casters. It is one of those, I would say MSC is shaping up as one of those tournaments where we have a lot of highlight reels. In fact, with that, let's actually check out the Pepsi's top reactions.
It's a great day for esports and a beautiful day here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Coming to you live from the grandest stage ever, the Amazon Arena.
BMI into the back line quickly. Winter crowns are being popped, but it's too late. The damage has been done. Actually, finds the final slash onto 3 targets, allowing him to get back in, but Carl says that's what I've been waiting for. Now, that's Carl's easy just with auto-attacking Troll, and that's just the end of the game. They're trying to escalate the situation. He dies immediately off the brilliance, and now the crystal will fall. Fnatic Onyx takes the game 21 kills to 7. McNC trying to outplay the situation by himself, single-handedly turning it around. Here too, and he gets a kill, and another bot drop the top. Fnatic Onyx don't want to stop.
Dude, I gotta say, the casters sound like they had a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah.
Like, especially watching the Moskov hitting the Spear of Destruction over to the likes of Fanny and then getting those kills. Like, dude, it's a good time to be a caster.
Definitely a great time to be a caster. I mean, and not only that, Carl Teasy on Ling yesterday. Woo! You know how long it's been since we got to see him bust some moves like that?
Bust some moves, yeah.
Bust a move.
Yeah, bust a move. Yeah, you know, and not only that, I think Benecute is also on fire. There's so many other standouts as well. Like, I think Annabelle was unleashed in one of the games. Unfortunately, we saw him like X-Borg in game number 2, which is kind of, yeah, you want to see him. He was great. Don't get me wrong, but I think we want to see him more in Assassins, you know.
Here's the thing. The thing about NFL for me is that his fighters are hit or miss. Now, you know what? We've been talking about how great it is to be a caster. Now we got to talk about how great it is to be an analyst, because we're going to look at the Aramco top 5 plays. And we got to talk about it this time because we're going to look at top 5 plays that happened yesterday. Again, thank you very much to Aramco. So let's check it out. Top 5 plays for yesterday, and this is the match where Kyrie on that Ling was amazing, Wolf.
Oh yeah, Kyrie was just very comfortable with this, and I think that they gave a lot of alley-oops to Kyrie when he plays this Ling.
Yeah, and honestly, during the match as well, Mlbb really showing himself, even though he's technically a rookie, but he really showed up. And now we're looking at a game where Benecute on that Moskov, dude, highlights over highlights over highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, overall, Liquid Echo, we saw Benecute, we saw Carl Teasy, and they took their time with this one, but still showed that, I mean, even in the Lord Pit, even under towers, they are just dominating the enemy.
Yeah, and this is the fight where Annabelle on that Ling, like, we're really looking at day number 1 and really proving to everyone Assassins is back. Annabelle, he took his time, but once he's got his items, he's online. Now we got to look at the top 1 play of the day.
Oh, this
and my, Annabelle again.
Yeah, it was Annabelle again, but Clocken as well as Dreams made this happen. Dreams was the one to start it with an implosion that really blocked off the entirety of RQ, and that TP play coming out from Clocken. And the way that he lands his rotation, mind you, landing first skill and second skill combo, the double vacuum that most pros call it, although it's totally different quotation.
I mean, like, for me, I prefer calling it the yin-yang reaction.
The yin-yang reaction, all right? Yeah, pros call it double vacuum. It's difficult to land. I don't know if you've tried it, but for me, it wasn't easy, and Clocken made it really easy.
Yeah, Clocken definitely.
I mean, here's the thing. It's like, it's one of those things where it's muscle memory, right? We have to get used to using it. But now, we have 4 amazing matches of today. We've got to look at the ALJ match of the day. So this is going to be the highlight for today. Let's check out the ALJ match of the day. And during this match of the day is the one that I'm personally interested in. Fireflux Esports going up against EVOS Glory. I got to say, Fireflux for today, they got to win everything.
They do, after taking that loss, and I think there was a lot of hype around Fireflux, but also the fact that EVOS took a loss against RRQ on game makes this even tighter, right? It makes it's really what makes Group A in general so tight, but it gives Fireflux some opportunity. It gives the rest of some teams some opportunity since EVOS take that loss.
Yeah, you know what? I think this probably might be elimination game for both of them in a way that if they lose 0-2, whichever team loses 0-2, will definitely not have any more chance of getting into the playoffs. That's how cutthroat this group stage is.
I mean, for us to really see which teams is going to be looking good and not going to be looking great, we got to look at the match schedule. So let's look at the match schedule, and then we can give our reactions of what could happen, because we're starting off with RQ Akira going up against Fireflux, EVOS Glory going up against NIP Flash. NIP Flash will play again against RRQ Akira back-to-back. And then again, our ALJ match of the day is going to be Fireflux going up against EVOS Glory.
So it's huge for Fireflux to win this right here. If they get 2-0'd here, they are essentially out in the... They are out, not essentially. They are out in the first series. It's going to be one of the most important games, and they are getting thrown right into it.
Yeah, I really like seeing RQ Akira, especially after whatever happened in M5. I had a chance to meet them at dinner, actually. They were very happy about, even when it was a draw, it kind of felt like a real victory for them because it gave them a fighting chance in this group. At the same time, that was momentum. They felt like they could have won game number 1 going up against Evil's Glory, and maybe it was just the jitters, but now they have really settled in. I'm excited to see more of RQ Akira today.
I mean, like, here's the thing. We heard that Takashi was like, you know, it's probably my fault. Maybe the CC pick wasn't as great, but again, it could be the jitters. But I gotta see, our casters, are you guys having the jitters? Because I want to talk to you guys. How are you guys feeling about Group A for today?
We're jittery, man. Hey, good to see you guys. Naisu and Mirko here. We're excited for it, though. I'll tell you that much, LaFell.
Very, very excited for the matchups, man. Definitely no jitters, despite, you know, the little shaky shakes that we had earlier. I think we're both very, very excited for the matches, and we can't wait to get into them.
And there you go, guys. The casters for today is going to be Papa Naisu and Baby Mirko.
Yep.
Honestly, great combination. I feel like Mirko is one of those people that aged backwards.
Yeah.
Hasn't aged at all.
His brain is deteriorating.
Yeah.
Me and Mirko, we have a love-hate relationship. It's more on the hate rather than the love.
Yeah.
But you know, I'll
Hey, it's a relationship nonetheless.
It's a relationship, and relationships have a lot of ups and downs.
Are you very happy that Mirko is no longer here with us in the stand, the studio?
Tell us, LaFell.
Yeah.
I'm ecstatic.
Almost as ecstatic as this game coming up.
Honestly, here's the thing. Our casters, they feel shaky, they feel jittery. But again, we gotta look. I saw just now, right, in terms of the standings, Group A and Group B are the only groups with 1-1. So again, it does look like Group B is living up to the hype as the group of death, where it's still on. And Group A, we were talking about his backstage strikes, where you feel like Group A is the group that can have a possible upset.
Yeah, at this point, are they even upset?
Yeah, they're not
even
upset.
And
good
what's
question.
also great to see is that the fact that NIP Flash is sitting 2-0 and it's the only one with a 2-0, they have some room to play here as well, right? Like, they don't have to 2-0 anybody. They could get a endings. Just a lot of possibilities in this group overall.
Yeah, which will make us really, really hyped up for this particular matchup. For RQ Akira, for example, if they win 2-0, they have guaranteed their spot already, even when it's like technically guaranteed. So it will be a good start of the day to actually start against Fireflux. Unfortunately for Fireflux, this is a must-win for them as well. Like there's really no option. 1-1 is not an option for them in this particular series. They have to win 2-0.
You know, here's the thing. Heading on to our first match of the day, RQ Akira going up against Fireflux Esports. For you guys at home, we got an STC prediction. So make sure you guys let us know your prediction. What do you guys think? It's going to be a 2-0 for which team? Is it going to be a 1-1? Either ways, your prediction really matters for us. We want to know what you think. But for now, honestly, you guys have been great, but we got to go over to the stage and actually see the opening from our host, Mara, as well as Sandstorm.
and gentlemen from all over the world, welcome to the Amazon Arena.
أيها السيدات والسادة مرحبا بكم في الأمازون أرينا.
My name is Mara Aquino.
And my name is Dawood Sandstorm.
And this is the Mid-Season Cup
2-0 for the first, second, and third series of the day, but the final one was a 1-1 between RRQ and EVOS Glory. The question is, what is the story going to be today for Group A's teams?
It's been an exciting day yesterday, and today I could see the players are super pumped up to get ready to go on stage. Now let's talk about today. After this undisputed champion of Latam's hard-fought series yesterday against the White Tigers, they're back here in the Amazon Arena to go up against the bastion of Turkey.
Now, Fireflux Esports need to reignite their blaze, because after suffering a sweep against the Group A top seed NIP Flash, every game they play, every fight they take is a fight for their life.
Can Takashi lead the kingdom once again to victory? Hailing from Brazil, RRQ Akira.
Now, RRQ Akira's series yesterday against EVOS Glory was a testament to their potential. They may have had it rough in their previous international stints, but things are looking good for them here at the MSC 2024 in Riyadh.
But you know, their opponents are not strangers to the international stage. In fact, RRQ Akira has been wishing for a rematch with this opponent, the champions from Turkey, introducing Fireflux Esports.
Back in the M5 World Championship, Fireflux Esports came up against RRQ Akira, but unfortunately, they came up just a little bit short. And now, as they go up against them one more time, the question is, will the representatives of LATAM repeat history, or will we see Turkey's delegates fan their flames to level the playing field?
And who will get to keep their keys? Because in partnership with the Esports World Cup, each team gets their personalized key to represent their participation and their success here at MSC 2024.
That's right. The keys that you see today, right here on the stage, are engraved with the mark of being the best. While they all have it now, the question is, there can only be one champion of MSC 2024. Who will that be?
And speaking of the best, they're using the best gaming phone right now. If you take a look at all of their players, they're using ROG for their ping test right now, and that's powered by Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 mobile platform.
That's right, Asus ROG is the official gaming phone of MSC 2024.
Now, they're ready to go. Take a look at them. Earlier today, we saw them walking around. I'm not sure if they're nervous, but I know each game counts for them. It seems like one team is a little bit more confident and the other one very serious.
I mean, I want to say, looking at both teams right now, nerves have to be playing a factor. There might be quite a lot of pressure on their shoulders. You're competing at the Mid-Season Cup 2024, at the Esports World Cup. It is bound to get to you, but can they handle the pressure, Mara?
I know that I can handle more action today in the Land of Dawn, and I can't wait to get it going. So how about let's go to the studio for our panelists to hear more from them. All right, take it.
And we shall receive. Thank you very much, Mara, as well as Sandstorm. We got to talk about the relentless demonstration. RQ Akira and Fireflux, they meet again. In M5, RQ won 2-1. Now, this is just a best of two. So if we're following the previous tournament that they've met each other, it should be a 1-1. But Wolf, like you said, that's not the result that you want.
That's, well, it doesn't matter what I want when it comes to the results. But what I do expect from this matchup is it should be close. However, when I look back at the Fireflux's performance yesterday, I was really surprised. I mean, I didn't catch it live. I saw it afterwards and was surprised how badly they performed compared to what I expected them to be. So this will be very difficult. Hopefully, Fireflux have woken up and hopefully that they will outperform themselves from yesterday.
Yeah, it almost feels like a lot of teams are still kind of adapting, or they're just a little rusty if you haven't been playing the assassin. Because Tianzi, it's true, he was playing the Ling yesterday, and it just, he didn't seem to perform like some other Ling players have been performing on the stage. It's definitely something to look at. And it's great to be able to see two non-SEA regions face off. It's not very often you get to see two Western regions kind of. You know, we already know SEA is super strong. It's good to see some power rankings on the rest of the world.
Interestingly, some of the Western teams went to Southeast Asia to train for MSC. I know the Team Spirit went there. I know that Cloud9 also went to Asia. I'm pretty sure that these two teams didn't go to Asia. Maybe because you know, it's not that easy because you will go back and forth. But what I'm trying to say here is that we had really, I had zero knowledge of what the performance is for RQ, Akira, as well as Fireflux when it comes to scrims in preparation for this tournament. So we're going to be going in blind, but we do know that Fireflux, they're not performing as advertised, while RQ Akira outperformed themselves yesterday.
And now we're jumping into the draft. Fireflux is going to be first pick on the blue side. RRQ Akira will be the second pick on the red side. And looking at the bans here coming in from Fireflux, they don't want any kind of sustain, and the Edith has chain CC, so looks like they might want to have a brawlish kind of composition coming in from Fireflux. And then RRQ Akira, they just got to go with the respect bans.
Should be Loi for the first pick, right? Or maybe somewhere along the lines for Roger. But we've proven yesterday that Lui is just way too strong in the meta game. Not because of the innate ability of the hero, but of how much it activates the other members because of the diversion ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, even after the nerfs, Lui still stands the test of time right now. And with how many other powerhouse picks there are right now, it just shows how strong this Lui is. But a lot of teams have been giving things up. We've seen like the Valentina up front, and people kind of are really willing to throw different picks around here and there, but the Lui definitely has to get locked in.
Should be Arlott and Roger. They don't want to give Lui and Arlott altogether for Fireflux. It's such a very strong combination. And Roger, obviously, the strongest marksman that we have right now. If Harith as well as Ling is banned, the stock for Roger increases. But no, this is different. You get the Luis Grok, third time in a row that he's going to be playing this. And then Takash, second time in a row, going in for this comfort, picking up the Terizla. So RQ are getting everything that they wanted. But again, Arlott, Lui, very strong combo. Having the Roger also means that the sustain, the body of Smith from the Terizla is not that much of a factor because you have that elimination factor. So, but the Baksha is the choice here for Fireflux.
Honestly, I kind of feel like we can talk about this Terizla because we've seen Terizla popping out more and more, and it does look like Terizla is a very safe engage because you're not going to get bursted down because of two items, the Queen's Wings as well as the Winter Crown, making it so that even though you have an engaged roam or something like the Grok, but perhaps the one that is more reliable is actually the Terizla.
I think one big thing with the Terizla and just EXP lane in general, it seems very tight right now, right? There's the Edith that you can flex around, there's the Arlott you can flex around, but other than that, it's kind of Terizla and Yuzong, and if you don't pick up an EXP lane early, then you're left with not many choices because we're seeing the Yuzong get banned out in second phase, or we're seeing the Terizla get banned out in second phase. So my question is, Wolf, is this Arlott roam right here? And if it's not, what do they have left if the Yuzong gets banned out?
Yeah, that's the beauty of the Arlott, right? You pick it up in the first phase, then you have both roam and as well as your EXP kind of filled up because it's so flex that it's good at both both roles. So to answer your question, what else do you have in roam? Like Minotaur, for example, is one of the heroes that I think about, and Fireflux unfortunately will not have access to that. Another hero is the Tigreal. So if there will be an attack speed based marksman that will be revealed here by RQ, for example, a Claude in their fourth pick, Tigreal now looks really good for Fireflux. If that is not available, then you're left with a Ruby or a Cho. That surprisingly, Cho, I have not seen so much in the first day of the group stages. When I thought that after the patch, Cho is one of the strongest heroes that we can pick up in the roam.
But now we got to look at RQ Akira's first 3 picks. It looks like it's going to be more or less the same draft that they used going up against Evo's Glory, where they had a very good early game, mid game, and they closed it off very, very convincingly. The marksman that they used was the Beatrix, but again, that was kind of a pick that you're forced on. So right now, RQ Akira, they have a solid front line that looks very comfortable for them.
Yeah, both teams kind of sticking to that utility jungle, right? Just kind of solid up front. And Fireflux, we saw them pick the Ling yesterday, but I kind of like that they're going back to this Basha because from what we know of Fireflux, the Turkish delight.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Ube, the Blacklist-esque strategy. So seeing them on the Ling, I was very worried if they were going to be able to adapt to the meta. But the Basha, we saw it from Liquid Echo. It's still a strong pick. It is a very good utility jungler right now. Maybe even debated to be better than the Fredrin.
I feel like it's
of
the
early
best.
game. Yeah.
I feel like it's
Okay.
I think it's good for Fireflux here.
For sure. Fits their profile. You can pick up, especially with the Luyi, you have a lot of horsepower with that Arlet as well as the backshot that you can just keep on fighting, which means that you can settle for somewhere along the rest for Roger, or maybe even Moscow, so that you have a lot more global presence, I would say. Farsa is going to be banned. I really like this ban coming out from Fireflux. So RQ, they're going to be left with maybe Aurora, which they really like, or the Vex. Vex that they actually prioritize. And I think picking it up 4th is not going to be a problem at all, because that means that you're not revealing your marksman just yet, your main core carry heroes.
Wait, is Roger still up?
Roger's still available. Moscow is also available. One of the rare occurrences. But they pick up the Novaria, which is an answer to the Luyi. Yep. Which now makes it so that Fireflux can just get another tanky hero for the EXP, so that it can match up with a with the Terizla.
Honestly, the RQ lineup,
perhaps?
RQ lineup right now is screaming, we want the turtle, because again, having the Novaria is going to help out the Terizla, the Grok, as well as the Fredrin to actually start things up. And now the Moscow gets picked up by Fireflux.
The Lolita is going to be there. So Claude is going to be very bad for RQ. They might be forced to go for the Roger now, which is not that bad, actually.
Yeah, the Roger's solid, especially up against Lolita. It immediately gives an answer to that and makes it so the shield is essentially pointless. Yes, you could drop a meteor here. I mean, you could shield a meteor here and there from the Novaria, but it definitely kind of nullifies that whole idea.
Exactly. Well, I guess the next best bet is okay. Well, okay.
They don't care about no shield.
They don't care.
They don't care about no shield.
Well, they have the BMI to get to the backlines. Maybe they're comfortable with that, but yeah, I like the Fireflux draft here.
You know, I feel like when they're in this kind of situation, they need to use what they feel comfortable with. And with that, I'm very comfortable of throwing it over to our casters, Papa Naisu, as well as Baby Mirko. It's your turn.
Thank you guys so much, LaFell, Trex, and Wolf. I don't have nicknames for you guys just yet, but once again, I'm Naisu, or Papa Naisu, and this is Mirko. I don't know if I'm going to call you Baby Mirko, man.
Yeah, that's more of a LaFell thing, you know. I call him Baby LaFell, calls me Daddy Miracle, but I'm fine calling you Papa Naisu.
All right, well, let's roll with it, because in just a second we saw the drafts already from RQ Akira and of course for Fireflux Esports and how they're going to go about this. And once again, what a fantastic look of the stage here as we get ready to load into the Land of Dawn for this game number 1 in this best of 2. Very crucial matchups here to round out Group A, as again, by the end of the day, we know where these teams are going to fall into place, the top 2. Now jumping into it, we have to see exactly what they want to do with this lineup, how they want to utilize the picks that they went with. Great inputs again from the analyst stand there, but man, RQ Akira, I love what they're doing. They have a great front line with this. I'm just wondering how they'll be able to utilize the back line later on. But we know Gusta Lagusta, man, he loves this Claude pick, rolls with it. You can also see some of the emblems they're rolling with. Nothing too crazy just yet, like we've seen in the past. But so far, lane's kind of already falling into place here.
Slowly but surely, I think in this matchup, it'll come down to the mid control. I think for the most part, in day number 1, we saw that whoever got mid prio, they just have so much to play with in the game. They're actually able to dictate the game. And RQ Akira, hey, game number 2, that was exactly how they were able to pop off, beat Evo's Glory at their own game. But something I do want to talk a little bit about is this gold lane matchup for Gusta Lagusta. Sunshine's going to have a better time here on the Moskov compared to the Claude, and you can already see Gusta getting punished by that Spear of Misery. He's already used the regen too, so he's going to be forced to recall. As we do get a pause here, Nice. So we do get some time to talk about the drafts again. I heard Wolf and LaFell, was it? They liked Fireflux's draft a bit better.
Yeah, they did. You know, again, when you look at both lineups here, you kind of have to think about where those power spikes are going to be for them. You know, we get a little climb, break, dominate by KitKat again for this as we get a breather. But so since we get to talk about the lineups, like I said, with Gusta Lagusta picking up this Claude pick, we know he needs time, you know, but I think time is what they can buy with the lineup they brought. Again, Fredrin has been up for debate since we've seen more assassins rise into the jungle, be prioritized by a lot of teams. But I don't know, man. I'm still kind of 50-50 with Fredrin now, exactly where he kind of fits into this. Yeah. And, you know, he's still that guy. He's just not on the top like he used to be. I'm talking about 99, 98 contention rate before. But going against with this lineup that they have, the fact that they have a very well-rounded front line that can peel for Gusta Lagusta later on is going to work great for them. And also, we've seen so much of Terizla, man. Terizla has been the, I almost feel like the top better tier XP laner, right? Maybe the top at this point so far from all the international tournaments that we've been watching leading into the mid-season cup. He's the guy that can make a lot of things work, and I don't know exactly what just bumped him. Is popped up. It was banned out in this first game. And going against the Arlott here, same sentiments. You know, Arlott is still a playmaker, but I just feel like right now, Terizla has been on point, and a lot of that just has to do with the penalty zone.
Yeah, I think it's all about the instant initiation in this current meta, right? Because it really is all about committing. When previously, yeah, we still kind of saw the teamfight meta around the lore dances. It's just a bit different now. Back then, you still want to get, you know, the longer team fights with the Edith, the sustain from the Yuzong, and from other picks like the CC as well. That's why it found so much value as well going up against the tanks, utility in the jungle. But now considering that the tanks have kind of fallen out of the jungle, it's funny I say that, and in this game we have Baksha versus Fredrin again. So it seems, you know, jungle is in a very, very healthy space.
Yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't say the same thing for XP though. Yeah, we've been seeing Terizla, Arlott, Yuzong maybe. We saw the CC that was brought up by RQ Akira yesterday, but when we saw just anytime we see a flashy pick in the XP, it just doesn't work. Benedetta ding, and then CC for Takashi.
Here's the question, man, because I heard you talk about this a little bit on the panel yesterday. Novaria isn't what everyone made it out to be. You know, like with especially with the Wishing Lantern, the added item here for mages. Obviously, she's still a threat. I mean, the biggest thing about Novaria, though, is really just the vision play that you get with it, because it pairs up really well with the, like, already having a Grok on your side who's kind of like this walking vision. You know, he just walks around, does his thing, but you pair it up with a Novaria. I just feel like it gives them a huge advantage in terms of vision that RQ Akira can play around with and then go from that. So for Fireflux, I feel like one of the parts that they have to deal with is the Lui Yi, the diversion plays we've been talking about since she went and changed and everything else. You know, one of the things that they can do, I feel like with diversion, is just trying to either use it as an escape from the initiations that are most likely going to come from RQ because of the lineup that they have, or again, follow it through. If you think about it, Arlott and also we saw very good, or I would say interesting build. I'm not sure how often that would pick up for the Lolita. Where you just have this massive shield as well, playing into that. But the setup potential, I actually feel like from Fireflux Esports is actually really good.
I would say for the Lolita build, that should be the normal build that you go to. Maybe if you're losing, you want to go for a little bit more defensive. You know, you want to go for maybe some stats, some raw stats from the physical defense or the magical defense. But for the most part, if you're leading especially, you want to go for that build. With the Flask of the Oasis and the Blood Wings, I think I was exposed to this very early in MPL Indonesia by a player who once won this competition as well, was Drian, who used it. Unfortunately, he didn't know about the new changes to the Lolita. He picked it up against a Franco. And I don't know if you guys know this.
Tell us.
Usually, the Guardian's Bull work.
Yeah.
You can't get through with the Iron Hook, right? You can't get through the Guardian's Bulwark with the Iron Hook. Now you can.
Which is weird, because it's like,
weird.
it's a bulwark.
And he was like, what? When did this change happen? So he had to figure it out the hard way, which is getting hooked and then losing the game.
Which is weird, because it's a bulwark.
Yeah.
Why does the hook, how does it an iron hook go through that?
Sometimes, you know,
Is it a
Karina does
magical hook?
magical damage. You know, she's swinging swords. Sometimes it's just the game logic. It's okay though, because yeah, I mean, right now with the Lolita, you actually do get a lot of shielding, right? You can even proc the Flask of the Oasis with your own shield to the rest of the team. So it's really, really cool where the Lolita stands in the meta, especially when you're up against two picks like this from the side of RQ Akira. They got the Claude and also the Novaria.
Yeah, you're going to get huge value, basically. Out of this pick, and again, part of it is both teams, I would say, honestly, have a ton of setup potential that they can use, ton of peel potential if they want to go that route as well. You know, but as the players kind of get us situated here, once again, as we go on to this our Kit Kat break here, we want to make sure the players, of course, have the best environment to play on because of what's at stake here. Again, today, I know you guys were watching yesterday and you saw 2 streams going on, but that essentially helped us find placements all for the groups from Group A. Group D, and now that we're at this point, day 1 is all Group A, right? And then each preceding day from now concludes a group. So that's why this is very crucial. And even yesterday, man, yesterday they had to fall into place. And RQ Akira met last year in M5, and I believe, if I remember correctly, RQ beat them 2-1 when they had their best of 3.
Yep.
And we heard them leading in Again, you know, this is fate that will have it, because this starting match here could actually decide things already for Group A.
I think it's a very
monster when it gets to the late game. I mean, how much, see, even yesterday with the comeback potential, yeah, with that Moskov pick, you know, so even though Moonton still goes for these changes and everything for this hero, he still shines. And I think, so when you're looking at this comparison of the Gold Lane, the Moskov with the Claude, you know that Claude takes some time to build up. Moskov can actually start to pay a threat already, and I feel like having Lolita helps him have a little more confidence, because if you're really looking at it, you know, you're relying on that, being able to play behind that bulwark. You can play around that, and then of course you have a diversion to kind of help you get out of the sticky situations too. I think the main point here is also because of how tanky the lineup is across from them, you're going to be hoping that also your Spear of Destruction follow-throughs are going to be on point, because we saw yesterday how crucial games can fall apart if a Spear of Destruction does not land where you want it, or if you miss it completely.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what
I know
I'm
what you're
talking about,
referencing,
man?
You know, the random Spear of Destruction that flew through mid lane, right?
Down
I think
mid
Trex
lane,
knows
man.
it as well, you know? He's been really depressed about it. He's been talking about it, ranting about that
I
one
was with
shot.
him, man.
Why couldn't he land that, man? It was in the mid lane. They were fighting in the mid lane.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but it looks like we could possibly be jumping back into the game here, and it looks like we are. So, again, jumping into it, it's only under the 4-minute mark. The players got everything situated here and set up with that. So, still, it looks like, too, you know, for both teams, they want to go ahead and just wait for this first objective to come up. Not all these level 4s online just yet, so as they go ahead and kind of wait for that, this is going to be crucial. Like I said, with this Terizla pick, you need that penalty zone available, but both junglers will go ahead and start this up for now. RQ going to hold this up in front. This is what we see Fredrins do all the time, and pair it up with Luis. Not sure.
Up top, Takashi doing some damage. Alien, going in for the Suns and right into the first blood. Now, Praser's Wrath comboing together with the Retribution. Tienzi will be stunned up earlier by Louise, and he'll be able to walk up and flickers out as well. With the power of nature still there, RQ Akira, that's a turtle traded in for first blood.
Yeah, first blood already, and look at this. Fireflux Esports actually want to put the pressure further on into the jungle, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to accomplish much with this. RQ pushing them back out, so it's objective, you know, great for them. But at the same time, the scaling here could start to happen for Fireflux Esports if they're not careful in the exchanges. A lot of just back and forth here. Gusta Lagusa trying to keep Sunshine there.
Good damage as well. Bottom lane, trying to go for that gold crab that Louise is holding onto. But so far, Gusta Lagusa has been losing out on the trade. Sagan, though, trying to go for the astral shot. But will not be able to find it now, only just helping Gusta Lagusa to get the gold crab, and he will be able to secure it.
I think it's what you do, man. You know, you just give that best experience to both gold laners if you can here. But Claude, I would say specifically, really needs that time to build up. Got to get those, you know, 3-4 items, the trinity, if you will, for the Claude to really shine in some of these team fights. Because again, with the lineup that Fireflux Esports has, they can actually try to negate a lot of the overloaded damage from a Blazing Duet if they're all positioned correctly. And it's also just a little bit, I guess you have to crucial and on point.
Okay, great echo. Revealing Alien and Rosa, and King walks up just like that, but still